Les Phares, dernière strophe. Car c'est vraiment, Seigneur, le meilleur témoignage que nous puissions donner de notre dignité, que cet ardent sanglot qui roule d'âge en âge et vient mourir au bord de votre éternité. Because it is truly, Lord, the best witness or testimony that we are able to give of our dignity, this ardent sob that rolls from age to age and comes to die at the border or limit edge of your eternity. We have kind of a run-on sentence here. You notice we have no punctuation at the ends of the lines, nothing but the commas around this apostrophe, apostrophe, same word in French, to Lord God, and then of course the exclamation mark at the end. And we have two que's here used in different ways. The first is a relative pronoun, un pronom relatif, in this subordinate clause, que nous puissions donner de notre dignité. And you know it's a pronoun and not the conjunction que here because you could swap it out for the noun it's replacing and the clause makes sense. So, nous puissions donner le témoignage de notre dignité que nous puissions donner. So, témoignage becomes que in the subordinate clause. And then the second que is a conjunction. And it may be hard to recognize because it's in a place we typically don't use a conjunction in English. Notice I didn't translate it when I was reading it in English. Its function here is just to tie it back to the first line. C'est le meilleur témoignage que ce sanglot. So it's not, we wouldn't put a conjunction here, but in French its purpose is just to kind of help us mentally skip over this long subordinate clause that came in between témoignage and sanglot. And then we have another relative pronoun here in the third line, qui, introducing a subordinate clause. Remember, qui and que have two different functions as relative pronouns. Qui is the subject of a subordinate clause. Cet ardent sanglot qui roule d'âge en âge. So qui refers back to the sanglot, and it is the sanglot who is rolling from age to age. And also who is dying at the edge of eternity. So, and then que is the object of a subordinate clause. The témoignage that is being given. Nous, here in this subordinate clause in line 2, nous, we are the subject. Que, the témoignage, is the object. It's being given, not acting on its own. Now back up to this first subordinate clause in line 2. Nous, we are the subject in the subordinate clause. Puissions is our action. It's a first person plural present subjunctive of pouvoir, to be able. And why is it subjunctive? If we trim down and kind of rearrange the sentence, it should become more clear how this fits into all of those lists of uses of subjunctive that you'll find in your grammar book. What this really means is ce sanglot est le meilleur témoignage que nous puissions donner. So the use of subjunctive, it is an opinion or sentiment. C'est le meilleur. It's kind of like il est bon, c'est le meilleur. And the opinion is about something going on in the subordinate clause. And the subject of the subordinate clause, nous, is not the same as the subject of the main sentence, le sanglot. So, subjunctive in the subordinate because the subject of the subordinate clause is not the same as the subject of the main idea, and the main idea is giving an opinion or a sentiment about the action going on in the subordinate clause.